Captain Maya Chen sat in the dark command room of the large human spaceship called UEF Relentless. The only light came from the screen showing stars and the message they had received. She played the alien distress call again, trying to understand. "It better. Play it one more time," she ordered. The air filled with strange sounds that slowly became words thanks to their translation computers. The message was simple, but urgent. A peaceful alien species called the Luminary was asking for help. Pirates were attacking them and taking their people. "How long has this message been sending?" Maya asked, her face serious in the blue light from the screens. Lieutenant Reeves checked his computer. "Almost 2 years, Captain. It seems no one has answered them." Maya frowned. This wasn't right. 2 years was a long time for a cry for help to go unanswered. She knew why, though. The aliens called Luminary weren't part of the Galactic Collective, the big group of alien species that worked together. The collective had rules about helping only their own members. And what about these pirates? What do they want with the Luminary? She asked. Reeves looked uncomfortable. "The pirates are taking them for their light organs, Captain. The Luminary glow naturally. Some species think eating these organs gives them longer life." Maya's fists tightened. Humans knew this kind of evil all too well. On Earth, their home planet, they had fought for centuries to stop animals from being killed, just for their parts. Elephants for ivory, rhinos for horns, sharks for fins. The list was long and sad. "The collective won't help at all?" she asked, already knowing the answer. "No, Captain, they say it's not their problem." Maya stood up and walked to the big window showing the stars. Humans were new in space. Other species called Earth a death world, a planet so dangerous and harsh that any species that evolved there must be naturally violent and aggressive. Most aliens feared humans for this reason. They thought humans were too dangerous to fully trust, but the aliens didn't understand. Yes, humans were strong and could fight well. Their bodies could survive in places that would kill most other species. But living on a difficult planet had taught humans something else too: the importance of protecting those who couldn't protect themselves. Maya made her decision. "Contact Admiral Lee immediately," she ordered. "I want to request a full fleet deployment." The crew looked at her with surprise. A full fleet was a big move. Many ships, many soldiers. It was not something done lightly. Admiral Lee's image appeared floating in the air before her just minutes later. "Captain Chen," he said, his face serious. "You want to send our ships to help aliens who aren't even part of the collective? This could damage our standing with them. We only recently got observer status." Maya stood tall. "With respect, Admiral, humans have a saying. Never again. We said it after we stopped the hunting of whales. We said it after we protected the last tigers. We said it when we finally ended the ivory trade. These Luminary are being hunted for their body parts. How can we hear their call and do nothing?" There was a long silence. Maya could see the Admiral, thinking. "The collective sees us as violent Deathworlders," she continued. "Maybe it's time they saw what that really means. Yes, we're strong. Yes, we can fight. But we use that strength to protect, not to harm." Finally, Admiral Lee nodded. "The Council has approved your request. The 4th Fleet will be under your command. For this mission." Maya felt relief wash over her. "Thank you, Admiral. Operation Luminous Shield is now active," he said. "Be careful out there, Captain. Show the galaxy what humans really stand for." As the Admiral's image disappeared, Maya turned to her crew. "Send the alert. I want all ships ready in 6 hours. We have a long journey ahead." Across the human fleet, alarms sounded. Soldiers prepared their gear. Engineers checked ship systems. Doctors stocked medical supplies. This would be the biggest human operation in space so far, and everyone knew it wasn't for their own benefit. It was for aliens they had never met, who were being hunted and needed help. In her private room, Maya looked at old pictures from Earth's history. Rangers protecting elephants from poachers. Scientists working to save endangered species. Ships stopping illegal whalers. Humans had fought these battles before on their own planet. Now they would fight them among the stars. A knock on her door interrupted her thoughts. "Captain, the fleet is almost ready," Lieutenant Reeves reported. "The crews are asking about our mission. What should I tell them?" Maya thought for a moment. "Tell them the truth. Tell them we're going to show the galaxy that being from a death world doesn't make us monsters. It makes us the perfect protectors." Outside the ship's windows, more human vessels were gathering. Large warships with powerful weapons. Smaller, faster ships for close fighting. Medical ships to help the injured. It was the largest human fleet ever assembled for a single mission. "How long until we reach the Luminary system?" Maya asked. 3 months at top speed, Captain," Reeves answered. Maya nodded. "Then we'd better get started. The sooner we get there, the more lives we can save." As the human fleet prepared to leave, a message was sent to the Luminary. It was simple but clear. "We heard your call. Help is coming. Hold on." The ships engaged their engines, disappearing into slipspace one by one. The Deathworlders were on their way, not to conquer or destroy, but to save. The hunters were about to learn what it meant to face humans who had decided to protect. 3 long months. That's how long Captain Maya Chen and her fleet would travel through the darkness of space to reach the Luminary. Even with the fastest human ships, space was just too big to cross quickly. Maya used this time to prepare. She studied everything they knew about the Luminary. They were peaceful beings who had never known war or violence. Their bodies naturally made light, glowing softly in different colors. The pirates, called the Harvesters, were hunting them for these special light organs. "Captain, we've received new information from our scout ships," Commander Sato said, walking into the meeting room where Maya was working. He placed a small device on the table. It showed a 3D map of the Luminary star system. "The Harvesters have at least 30 ships," he explained. "They're well armed, but their technology doesn't match well. They've taken parts from different alien ships and put them together." Maya nodded. This was good news. A mixed fleet would be harder to coordinate. "What about their weapons?" she asked. "Powerful, but nothing our shields can't handle," Sato replied. "Our biggest advantage is that they don't expect anyone to fight back. The Luminary can't defend themselves and no one else has tried to help them." Maya looked at the map again. The Luminary lived on a beautiful planet with 3 moons. The largest moon had a red dot on it. "What's this?" she asked, pointing to the red mark. Sato's face darkened. "That's where the Harvesters take the Luminary. They capture. It's a processing facility." Maya understood what he wasn't saying. That was where the Luminary were cut open and their light organs removed. "Have we made contact with any Luminary yet?" she asked. "Yes, but they're confused," Sato said. "They don't understand why we would come to help them. They've never met humans before, they've only heard stories. And I'm sure those stories make us sound like monsters," Maya said with a small smile. She wasn't surprised. Humans had a bad reputation. Other species called them violent Deathworlders and feared them. Later that day, Maya went to the training room to watch the Marines practice. These were the soldiers who would fight on the ground. They were training with special suits that made them even stronger than normal. Humans were already naturally strong compared to most alien species. They could survive in places with strong gravity, bad air, extreme heat, or cold. Their bodies were designed to live on Earth, a planet that tried to kill them every day for millions of years. Now, these natural abilities would help them save the Luminary. Lieutenant Reeves ran up to Maya looking worried. "Captain, we've detected a Harvester scout ship. They've seen us." Maya stayed calm. "Good. Let them see us coming. Let them prepare." Reeves looked confused. "You want them to know we're coming?" "Yes," Maya said. "I want them to be afraid. Send a message to the Harvesters. Keep it simple. The hunt is over. Leave now, or face the Deathworlders." The crew looked at each other. This wasn't the normal way to do things. Usually you tried to surprise your enemy. But they understood what Maya was doing. She wanted the Harvesters to know this wasn't a normal peacekeeping mission. This was humanity with all its terrible reputation, deliberately placing itself between predator and prey. As the message was sent, Maya looked at the star map. In the distance, she could see the Luminary's home star. "Now we see if they're smart enough to run," she said quietly. 2 weeks later, the fleet was getting close to the Luminary system. Maya called all her ship captains for a final meeting. "We'll reach Luminary space in 2 days," she told them. "Our plan has 3 parts." She pointed to the map showing the Luminary planet and its moons. "First, we protect the planet. I want our biggest ships in defensive positions around the main Luminary cities. Second, we stop any harvester ships from landing or leaving. And third, we send Marines to the moon base to free any captured Luminary." Captain Rodriguez from the ship Defender raised his hand. "What if the harvesters surrender?" "Then we take them prisoner and turn them over to YH, the alien distress call again," trying to understand it better. "Play it one more time," she ordered. The air filled with strange sounds that slowly became words thanks to their translation computers. The message was simple but urgent. A peaceful alien species called the Luminary was asking for help. Pirates were attacking them and taking their people. "How long has this message been sending?" Maya asked, her face serious in the blue light from the screens. Lieutenant Reeves checked his computer. "Almost 2 years, Captain. It seems no one has answered. Them." Maya frowned. This wasn't right. 2 years was a long time for a cry for help to go unanswered. She knew why, though. The aliens called Luminary weren't part of the Galactic Collective, the big group of alien species that worked together. The collective had rules about helping only their own members. "And what about these pirates? What do they want with the Luminary?" she asked. Reeves looked uncomfortable. "The pirates are taking them for their light organs, Captain. The Luminary glow naturally. Some species think eating these organs gives them longer life." Maya's fist tightened. Humans knew this kind of evil all too well. On Earth, their home planet, they had fought for centuries to stop animals from being killed just for their parts. Elephants for ivory, rhinos for horns, sharks for fins. The list was long and sad. "The collective won't help at all?" she asked, already knowing the answer. "No, Captain, they say it's not their problem." Maya stood up and walked to the big window showing the stars. Humans were new in space. Other species called Earth a death world, a planet so dangerous and harsh that any species that evolved there must be naturally violent and aggressive. Most aliens feared humans for this reason. They thought humans were too dangerous to fully trust. But the aliens didn't understand. Yes, humans were strong and could fight well. Their bodies could survive in places that would kill most other species. But living on a difficult planet had taught humans something else too, the importance of protecting those who couldn't protect themselves. Maya made her decision. "Contact Admiral Lee immediately," she ordered. "I want to request a full fleet deployment, Liao." Crew looked at her with surprise. A full fleet was a big move. Many ships, many soldiers. It was not something done lightly. Admiral Lee's image appeared floating in the air before her just minutes later. "Captain Chen," he said, his face serious, "you want to send our ships to help aliens who aren't even part of the collective? This could damage our standing with them. We only recently got observer status." Maya stood tall. "With respect, Admiral, humans have a saying, never again. We said it after we stopped the hunting of whales. We said it after we protected the last tigers. We said it when we finally ended the ivory trade. These Luminary are being hunted for their body parts. How can we hear their call and do nothing?" There was a long silence. Maya could see the Admiral, thinking. "The collective sees us as violent Deathworlders," she continued. "Maybe it's time they saw what that really means. Yes, we're strong. Yes, we can fight. But we use that strength to protect, not to harm." Finally, Admiral Lee nodded. "The Council has approved your request. The 4th Fleet will be under your command. For this mission." Maya felt relief wash over her. "Thank you, Admiral." "Operation Luminous Shield is now active," he said. "Be careful out there, Captain. Show the galaxy what humans really stand for." As the Admiral's image disappeared, Maya turned to her crew. "Send the alert. I want all ships ready in 6 hours. We have a long journey ahead." Across the human fleet, alarm sounded. Soldiers prepared their gear. Engineers checked ship systems, doctors stocked medical supplies. This would be the biggest human operation in space so far. and everyone knew it wasn't for their own benefit. It was for aliens they had never met, who were being hunted and needed help. In her private room, Maya looked at old pictures from Earth's history. Rangers protecting elephants from poachers, scientists working to save endangered species, ships stopping illegal whalers. Humans had fought these battles before on their own planet. Now they would fight them among the stars. A knock on her door interrupted her thoughts. "Captain, the fleet is almost ready," Lieutenant Reeves reported. "The crews are asking about our mission. What should I tell them?" Maya thought for a moment. Tell them the truth. Tell them we're going to show the galaxy that being from a death world doesn't make us monsters. It makes us the perfect protectors. Outside the ship's windows, more human vessels were gathering. Large warships with powerful weapons. Smaller, faster ships for close fighting. Medical ships to help the injured. It was the largest human fleet ever assembled for a single mission. "How long until we reach the Luminary system?" Maya asked. 3 months at top speed, Captain," Reeves answered. Maya nodded. "Then we'd better get started. The sooner we get there, the more lives we can save." As the human fleet prepared to leave, a message was sent to the Luminary. It was simple but clear. "We heard your call. Help is coming. Hold on." The ships engaged their engines, disappearing into slipspace one by one. The Deathworlders were on their way, not to conquer or destroy, but to save. The hunters were about to learn what it meant to face humans who had decided to protect. Captain Maya Chen stood in the docking area of her ship, the Relentless. She wore her best uniform and was surrounded by her top officers. They were all waiting for the Luminary ship to arrive. "Are you nervous, Captain?" Lieutenant Reeves asked. Quietly, Maya smiled a little. "This is the first official meeting between humans and Luminary. Of course I'm nervous." A light on the wall turned green, showing that the alien ship had connected to their ship. The big metal door slowly opened with a hissing sound. Everyone stood straighter, ready to make a good first impression. 3 tall, thin aliens walked into the room. Maya had seen pictures of Luminary before, but the images didn't capture how beautiful they were. Their bodies were nearly see-through and glowed with soft, changing colors. They looked like they were made of living glass. They moved so smoothly it was like they were floating rather than walking. The tallest Luminary stepped forward. "I am Seraph, Elder Speaker for the Luminary people," it said through a translation device. Its voice sounded like gentle music. "We did not believe you would come. No one comes to help the Luminary." Maya stepped forward too. "I'm Captain Maya Chen of the United Earth Fleet. We received your distress call and brought our fleet to stop the attacks on your people." The 3 Luminary looked at each other. Their bodies flashed with quick pulses of light. Maya realized this was how they talked to each other. Finally, Seraph moved closer to Maya. It was so close that it would normally be uncomfortable, but Maya stayed still. "You are the Deathworlders? The humans?" Seraph asked. "We have heard stories of your kind. They say you evolved on a world of constant violence and death." Maya nodded. "Earth has its challenges. It made us strong and stubborn about protecting those who can't protect themselves." Seraph's body changed to a deep blue color. "The Harvesters have built a facility on our 3rd moon. They take our people there." The light in Seraph's body became very dim. Few return. Those who do are missing their light organs, left to slowly die as their light fades away. The human officers looked at each other with angry expressions. Maya's face hardened. "Show us everything," she said. "Your cities, your defenses, where the Harvesters usually attack. We need to know it all if we're going to help you." Later, in a large room filled with maps and information, the Luminary showed the humans everything they knew about the Harvesters. Maya quickly understood why no other species had helped the Luminary. They were complete pacifists. They had never made a single weapon in their entire history. Their planet had no dangerous animals, no big storms, and plenty of food and water for everyone. They had never needed to fight for anything. They were completely unprepared for aliens who would hurt them for profit. "How many of your people have been taken?" Maya asked. Seraph's light dimmed again. "Over 10,000 in the last 5 years. About 200 are currently held on the moon base. After the meeting, Maya gathered her senior officers in her private meeting room. The Harvesters will return in about 3 days with their main fleet, Commander Sato reported. They've set up automatic defenses around the moon base. The Luminari can't get past them, but our ships can easily destroy them. What about the Luminari held on the moon base? Maya asked. Lieutenant Reeves spoke up. About 200 are being held there. The base is heavily guarded, but our Marines can break in. He paused. There's something else. The Luminari showed us what happens during harvesting. It's worse than we thought. They're keeping the victims alive and taking the organs multiple times as they grow back. The room went quiet. Maya could see the anger on every human face. Put our ships in defensive positions around the main Luminari cities, she ordered. I want Marines ready to attack the moon base. When the Harvesters return, they'll find their hunting grounds protected by something they never expected to face. The officers left to follow her orders. Maya walked to the big window. Below, she could see the Luminari homeworld. It was beautiful, with blue oceans and green land. At night, you could see the Luminari cities glowing with the same gentle light as the people themselves. She put her hand on the cool glass. Not while we're here, she whispered. Not ever again. The next day, Maya visited the Marines as they prepared for the attack on the moon base. These were some of the toughest humans in the fleet. They were loading weapons and checking their special fighting suits. Captain on deck, someone shouted, and everyone stood at attention. At ease, Maya said. I wanted to talk to you all before the mission. The soldiers relaxed a little but still looked alert and ready. You've all seen the reports about what the Harvesters are doing to the Luminari, Maya said. I know you're angry. I am too. But I need you to use that anger wisely. Our mission is to free the captured Luminari and secure the base with as few casualties as possible. A tall Marine with sergeant stripes on her uniform stepped forward. What about the Harvesters, Captain? They deserve to pay for what they've done. Maya nodded. And they will. But we'll do it the right way. We're not just fighting to punish the Harvesters. We're fighting to show the galaxy what humanity really stands for. We're Deathworlders, yes. But that means we protect those who can't protect themselves. The sergeant nodded. Understood, Captain. Maya looked at the determined faces around her. The Harvesters think the Luminari are easy prey because they can't fight back. They've never faced humans before. Show them what it means when Deathworlders decide to protect instead of harm. The Marines stood straighter, pride showing on their faces. As Maya left the room, alarms suddenly started blaring throughout the ship. Captain to the bridge, immediately, a voice called over the speakers. Maya ran to the bridge. Report, she demanded as she entered. Commander Sato turned to her, his face grim. The Harvester fleet has arrived 2 days early. 28 ships, heavily armed, heading straight for the planet. Maya took her seat in the captain's chair. All ships to battle stations. The time for planning is over. Outside, the stars were blocked by the approaching Harvester ships, their hulls decorated with trophies from previous hunts. They had no idea what was waiting for them. The Deathworlders were ready. The Harvester ships appeared from deep space exactly where the humans thought they would. There were 28 ships of different sizes. Their metal hulls were decorated with strange objects, trophies from their hunts of other species. They had no idea that the human fleet was waiting for them. From the bridge of the Relentless, Captain Maya Chen watched the enemy ships approach the beautiful Luminari planet. All ships maintain stealth mode, she ordered. Let them get closer. Wait until they fully commit to their approach. The human ships had special technology that made them hard to see on scanners. They were hiding behind moons and in the shadow of the planet, waiting for the right moment. They're splitting up, reported Tactical Officer Park. The big ships are staying back. The smaller, faster ones are heading toward the planet. This was exactly what Maya expected. The Harvesters used their big ships to block anyone from escaping while the smaller ships went down to capture Luminari. They still don't know we're here, Park added. Our stealth systems are working perfectly. Maya nodded, her eyes never leaving the screen showing the enemy ships. Let them get closer, wait until they're fully committed. The Harvester fleet moved closer to the planet. The larger ships formed a blockade while the smaller, faster ships prepared to descend to the surface. Now, Maya ordered. All at once, the human fleet appeared. 16 powerful warships suddenly showed up on the Harvester's sensors. They were positioned in key spots all around the planet and near the moon base. The Harvester ships froze in place, clearly surprised. "Open communication channels," Maya commanded. "All frequencies." Her image was sent to every Harvester ship. "Harvester Command, this is Captain Maya Chen of the United Earth Fleet. You were warned. The Luminari are under our protection. Surrender your ships and release all captives immediately." For a moment, there was silence. Then the response came. Not in words, but in actions. The Harvester ships fired their weapons at the nearest human vessels. "As expected," Maya said calmly. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Theta. Marines, you have permission to start the rescue operation." The battle in space began. Human ships moved with perfect coordination. Their shields easily blocked the Harvester weapons while their own attacks were precise, hitting engines and weapon systems rather than trying to destroy the ships completely. At the same time, human dropships flew toward the moon base where the Luminary captives were held. These small, fast ships carried the best fighters humanity had, the Marines. Inside one dropship, Sergeant Ana Rodriguez checked her weapon one last time. Around her, 20 Marines in powered armor suits did the same. These suits made them even stronger and faster than normal humans. And humans were already strong and fast compared to most alien species. "Remember," she told her team, "our main goal is to rescue the Luminary prisoners. Engage the Harvesters only if they block your path. Move fast, stay focused." The dropship landed with a bump on the surface of the moon. The door opened, and the Marines rushed out ready for a fight. The Harvester guards were surprised. They had never faced human soldiers before. They had never seen beings who could punch through metal doors, who could keep fighting after being injured, who moved with such coordination and purpose. Back on the Relentless, Maya received the first report from the moon base. "Captain, the Marines have entered the facility," Communications Officer Lee reported. "They've encountered resistance but are pushing through quickly." On another screen, Maya could see the space battle. Human ships were systematically disabling Harvester vessels, targeting engines first to stop them from escaping, then weapons to stop them from fighting back. 3 Harvester ships tried to run away, to escape the system. "Disable their engines," Maya ordered. "No one escapes to warn others that the Luminari are easy prey. This ends here." In the medical bay of the Relentless, Dr. Sarah Chen, no relation to the captain, prepared to receive the first rescued Luminari. She had studied everything known about Luminari biology, but she was still nervous. They had never treated this species before. When the first rescued Luminari arrived, Sarah was shocked. Their normally bright, glowing bodies were dim and thin. Some had surgical scars where their light organs had been repeatedly removed. But as her medical team worked to help them, something unexpected happened. The Luminari began to glow brighter. "They're responding to us," Sarah realized. "They can feel our emotions, our desire to help them." On the bridge, Maya received another report. "Captain, the Marines have secured the central holding area. 214 Luminari rescued alive. 37 Harvesters captured. The others resisted and were dealt with." Maya nodded. She understood what that meant. Some Harvesters had chosen to fight to the death rather than surrender. "And the space battle?" she asked. "Almost over, Captain," Tactical Officer Park reported. 22 Harvester ships disabled. 6 surrendered without a fight when they saw what happened to the others. Victory was theirs. The Luminari were safe. Later, as Maya walked through the corridors of her ship, she saw the first of the rescued Luminari being cared for in the medical bay. Their bodies were starting to glow more brightly again as they recovered. When they saw Maya, their glow pulsed with a bright, clear blue light. "Thank you," one of them said weakly through a translator. "We had lost hope that anyone would help us." Maya knelt by the Luminari's bed. "Rest now. You're safe. The Harvesters will never hurt your people again." As she left the medical bay, Maya received a message from Admiral Lee. Captain Chen, the UEF Council has received your report. They send their congratulations on a successful mission. Maya smiled a little. Thank you, Admiral. But the mission isn't over yet. Now we need to help the Luminari rebuild and ensure they can protect themselves in the future. Agreed, the Admiral said. And there's something else. Other species have heard what you did. Some are already asking if humans would extend the same protection to them. Maya looked out at the stars. The Deathworlders, the humans that other species had feared, had just shown the galaxy a different kind of strength. Not the strength to conquer, but the strength to protect. 3 days after the battle, Captain Maya Chen walked through a Luminari city. The buildings were made of crystal that caught and reflected light in beautiful ways. Next to her walked Elder Speaker Seraph, whose body now glowed with bright, healthy light. Small Luminari children glowing softly like little stars followed behind them at a safe distance, curious about the human visitor. Your people have saved us, Seraph said, its body pulsing with colors that Maya was learning to recognize as happiness and gratitude. The people you rescued from the moon base are healing. Our light grows stronger knowing we are safe. Maya nodded, but she looked worried. The harvesters were just one group. There could be others who might see your people as resources. They stopped at a large open area in the center of the city. Here, human Marines were teaching a group of interested Luminari some basic self-defense moves. It was a strange sight. The strong, muscular humans moving slowly and carefully as they showed the gentle, glowing aliens how to protect themselves. We have never needed to learn such things, Seraph admitted. Our world has no dangerous animals. We have no wars. We never thought anyone would want to hurt us. Different worlds create different beings, Maya said. Earth taught humans to be fighters because we had to be. Your world taught you to be peaceful because you could be. Later that day, Maya visited the human engineers who were helping the Luminari set up a basic warning system around their planet. It would tell them if any ships were coming and give them time to hide or call for help. We can't stay here forever, Maya explained to Seraph, but we can help you prepare for the future. That evening, Maya returned to her ship. In her private room, she received a message from Admiral Lee. His image appeared in the air before her. The Galactic Collective has noticed our actions, he reported. They're sending representatives to investigate why we intervened without their permission. Maya had expected this. The Collective was the group of advanced alien species that controlled much of the galaxy. They had rules about who could do what in space. Let them come, Maya said. They should see what happens when they ignore calls for help. This isn't just about the Luminari anymore, Maya, the Admiral said. Your actions have set a precedent. Other vulnerable species are already asking if humans would help them too. Maya looked out her window at the peaceful Luminari world below. And what has the Council decided? They're creating a new program called the Sentinel Initiative. Its mission will be to protect non-collective species from exploitation and harm. He smiled slightly. They want you to lead it. Maya felt the weight of this new responsibility settle on her shoulders. Humanity, long feared for coming from a dangerous world, was choosing to use their strength to protect rather than conquer. It would change everything. How other species saw them, their place in the galaxy, perhaps even how they saw themselves. We've learned some interesting things from the harvesters we captured, Maya said. They've told us about other operations, targeting peaceful species. Some have been going on for decades while the Collective looked the other way. Then it seems you'll be busy, the Admiral replied. The next morning, Maya met with the Luminari Council, made up of the eldest and wisest of their species. Their meeting room was a beautiful dome where light played through crystal walls, creating rainbow patterns on the floor. We wish to thank you formally, said the head elder, the oldest and brightest Luminari. But we also wish to understand. Why did you help us when no one else would? Maya thought carefully about her answer. On Earth, our home planet, there's a saying, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. For too long, humans used our strength selfishly. We fought each other. We damaged our own world. But eventually, we learned that true strength comes from protecting others. not just ourselves. The Luminary Council members glowed with changing colors as they considered her words. "We have something to show you," the head elder said. The lights in the room dimmed, and a projection appeared in the center of the room. It showed the galaxy, with countless stars and planets. Certain points of light glowed brighter than others. These are the worlds of beings like us, peaceful species who have no natural defenses. Many have suffered as we have. The head elders' light dimmed sadly. Some have been completely destroyed by those who saw them only as resources. Maya looked at the map. There were so many vulnerable worlds out there, unknown to humanity until now. The collective protects its members but ignores the rest, the head elder continued. Perhaps the galaxy needs those who will protect the unprotected. Later that day, as the human fleet prepared to leave, leaving 2 ships behind to help the Luminary, Maya received a message. It came from a planet in a distant part of the galaxy. "Captain Chen," the message began, "we are the Mist Singers of Velos IV. We have heard what you did for the Luminary. Our people are also being hunted. Can the Deathworlders help us too?" Maya immediately sent the message to Admiral Lee and the UEF Council. Within hours, she had her answer. "The Sentinel Initiative is approved," the Admiral told her. "Your new ship, the UEF Protector, is being prepared. You'll command a fleet of 10 vessels initially, with more to come as we build them." That night, Maya stood on the surface of the Luminary world, looking up at the stars. Seraph stood beside her. "You're leaving tomorrow," Seraph said. Its body glowed with blue light that Maya now knew meant sadness. "Yes, but we're not abandoning you," Maya assured the alien. "2 of our ships will stay here to help your people, and we'll return regularly to check on you." "Where will you go?" Seraph asked. "There are others who need help," Maya explained. "Like I said, the harvesters weren't the only ones preying on peaceful species." Seraph's glow shifted to a vibrant purple. "Then the Deathworlders will become the guardians of the galaxy." Maya smiled. "Not the whole galaxy, just the parts that can't protect themselves." As nightfall came to the Luminary world, their cities began to glow with intensified light, a celebration of life and safety. From space, the effect was breathtaking, an entire planet pulsing with hope. The Luminary added a new word to their language that day: human, its meaning in their tongue, those who come when called. 1 year had passed since the Battle of Luminary. The UEF Protector, flagship of the new human Sentinel fleet, patrolled the edges of what was now called protected space. On its bridge stood Admiral Maya Chen, watching as a ship approached from collective territory. "The collective representatives are right on time," her first officer, Commander Reeves, noted. Maya nodded. "Bring them aboard with full honors." The collective had sent 7 representatives from different species. Most had never been on a human ship before. They looked uncomfortable as they were escorted to the meeting room, surrounded by the Deathworlders they had long viewed with suspicion. The meeting room was large and designed to accommodate different types of aliens. Some needed special chairs, others needed different air mixtures to breathe. Humans had thought of everything to make their guests comfortable. Admiral Chen began the Silari representative, a methane breather who wore a special suit to survive in oxygen. "The Collective Council has reviewed your Sentinel fleet's activities over the past year. Your ships have stepped into 12 separate conflicts involving non-member species. We've protected vulnerable beings from those who would harm them," Maya corrected gently, "as any moral species should." The 7 representatives looked at each other nervously. The Meridian delegate, a tall being made of living crystal, spoke next. "What concerns the collective is not the protection itself, but that you are creating a power structure outside collective authority." Maya smiled slightly. "We prefer to call it an alliance. The Protected Worlds Agreement now includes 23 species the collective decided were not worth protecting." Behind her, a large screen showed images of those worlds: the glowing Luminari, the water-dwelling deeps of Proxima 7, the cloud-like minds of the Mist Singers, and many others. They were all different, but they shared two things. They were peaceful, and they were now safe, under human protection. The collective fears you are building an empire, the Jilari said bluntly. No, Maya answered. We're building a community. One where the strong protect the weak until they can protect themselves. Something your collective has failed to do. She pointed to the screen which now showed human teachers working with Luminari students, teaching them about space travel and defense systems. Another image showed human doctors helping injured aliens from many different worlds. You are welcome to investigate as much as you wish, Maya told the collective delegates. Visit any world under our protection. Ask them if they want us to leave. After the delegates left, Maya stood at the window of her private office. A message alert sounded. Elder Seraph of the Luminari was calling. Seraph now served as the leader of the Protected Worlds Council. The collective representatives have left, Maya told Seraph. They're worried about our growing influence. Seraph's body pulsed with colors that Maya now knew meant amusement. They should be. Today we received 3 new requests for protection, including one from a world at the edge of collective space. Maya was surprised. A collective member is asking for our protection? They say the collective ignores their problems, Seraph explained. The galaxy is changing, Admiral. Species who once feared the Deathworlders now see you differently. Later that day, as the Protector prepared to leave for its next mission, Maya reviewed the latest reports. Harvester operations had decreased by 70% across known space. Other groups that used to prey on peaceful species were now avoiding protected worlds. The human Sentinel fleet, which now had 40 ships, was busy but making a real difference. Admiral, Commander Reeves called. We're receiving a new distress signal, high priority. Maya looked up from her work. Where from? A mining colony in the Verendi cluster. They're under attack by unknown forces. He hesitated. It's a collective world, Maya thought carefully. By collective rules, human ships were not supposed to enter collective space without permission. Helping this colony could be seen as interfering in collective affairs. But someone there was desperate enough to call the Deathworlders directly. How far away is the nearest collective defense fleet? Maya asked. At least 3 days, Reeves answered. By then, he didn't need to finish. By then, it would be too late for the colonists. Set course for the Verendi cluster, maximum speed, Maya ordered without hesitation. And notify the Protected Worlds Council. We may need diplomatic support after this. As the Protector accelerated to full speed, Maya thought about how much had changed in just 1 year. For centuries, humans had been isolated, feared for their death world origins and the strength those harsh conditions had created in them. Now those same qualities had transformed them into something unexpected, guardians of the vulnerable, answering calls that others ignored. The ship's doctor, Sarah Chen, entered the bridge. The medical bay is prepared for possible casualties. Admiral, Maya nodded. Good. This may be complicated. We're entering collective space without permission. Sarah smiled. Helping those who need it, even if the rules say we shouldn't? Sounds like humans being humans. Maya laughed. It was true. Perhaps that was the real legacy of evolving on a death world. Not just physical strength or speed or endurance, but a stubborn refusal to stand by when others were suffering. As the Protector raced through space toward the colony in danger, Maya sent a message back to Earth. It was short but clear. Responding to distress call from collective mining colony. We'll face diplomatic challenges, requesting backup if available. Regardless of consequences, we will help those in need. This is what we do now. From her window, Maya could see the stars streaking by as the ship traveled faster than light. Among those countless stars were thousands of worlds with beings looking up at their skies, wondering if they were alone in their struggles. Now more and more of them knew they weren't. If they called for help, the Deathworlders would come, not because they had to, not because there was profit in it, but because they could, and because it was right. The SOS wasn't ignored, and it never would be again. The end.